going on, world? What's going on? So, let me ask you a question, man. As a individual who is seeking entrepreneurship, or is an entrepreneur, or wants to elevate as an entrepreneur, or you want to better yourself in school, or you want to become Greek, or whatever it is you're trying to do that requires some type of substance of sacrifice, how bad do you want it? I'm not asking you to answer to me. I'm asking you to ask yourself and answer that question. How bad do you really want it? Do you want it bad enough to move your family out of state, out of town? Do you want it bad enough to put your credit on the line? Do you want it bad enough to put your money on the line, of course, to keep your foot on the competition's neck? Do you want it bad enough to breathe? If you put a plastic bag over your face and you gasping for air and you scratching and clawing because you want to breathe, and you stop and think for a microsecond to poke a hole in your mouth so that you get that gasp of air because you wanted it that bad that you just had to breathe, how bad do you want it? You ask yourself that question, because that's the kind of sacrifices that is required to elevate. And I've made plenty of them and going to make a lot more. But how bad do you want it, though? Just ask yourself that question. Sit back for a minute and follow me on this mic drop. Or are you just running in place?
I wanna see my dogs on the mountaintops. Them niggas only ballin' when they albums drop. I got a line of cars rapping around the block and living better than these rappers rapping around the clock.
What's going on, cold world? What's happening? So, man, on today's mic drop, I'm gonna talk about a couple different things. One thing specifically, I want to talk about what I call treadmill mentality. Treadmill, the thing you run on and you just be going in the same place. Let's talk about that for a second, right? Everybody knows or should have heard the term hustling backwards. Everybody's hustled backwards before, just somebody taught you, educated you on how to move forward with your hustle. But what people have not taught you, a lot of us, is hustling on a treadmill, which means you just hustling. You hustling hard. You running like you running a 400-meter sprint on a treadmill. You're not going nowhere. And the only people who see you are the people who come into the gym. Nobody outside the gym will see your results because you're hustling on a treadmill. So I remember I saw this video that I think Bill Gates was doing an interview. He was doing an interview, and the reporter asked him, or the interviewer asked him, what makes you different from everybody else? Bill Gates took out a blank check and handed it to him. He said, fill this out. Give it back to me. She said, no, I don't want your money, Bill. This is a live interview, so cameras are everywhere. She's being modest. She said, I don't want your money, Bill. Here, don't worry about that. I just want to know what makes you the person you are as an entrepreneur. He said, here, take this check. She said, come on, Bill, you're embarrassing me. Please don't do that. I don't want your money. She took the check, handed it back to him. She said, we're doing an interview here. Can you, please just answer the question? And he said, it's the third time. Here, take this. She said, "Okay, Bill, this is the third time I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna happily decline. I don't want your money." So he took the check back. He tore it up. He said to her, "That's the difference between me and a lot of other entrepreneurs. I seize every opportunity that comes my way. You could have filled this check out and could have been the richest news anchor in the world. You chose not to. You didn't seize the opportunity." So when I read that, I thought to myself, I have been doing that, and I'm going to continue to do that with no qualms, no thought about it. If the opportunity knocks on my door and it seems legitimate enough for me to prosper business-wise, I'm going to walk through the door. That's what separates me from a lot of other people. And I say that to say, I also remember an interview that Rick Ross did. Ross said that it's very hard to make $1 million out of one city. He didn't say it couldn't be done. It's very hard to make $1 million out of one city. But if you make $1 million out of 50 cities, because there's 50 states, you need one city in every state. That's $50 million. So I have no problem traveling state to state to go get money. I just want you guys to understand that if you're doing this entrepreneurship, or if you're doing anything worth school, education-wise, don't stick to the city that you're in if it's not feasible. If the opportunity presents itself to knock on the door to go to a HBCU, or to go to a class, a D1 school, or anything like that, Princeton or Yale or whatever, that floats your boat. If the opportunity presents itself, you should take it, because it may not come again. Whether that means you got to go make $1,000 or $1 million. So I just want people to understand, when you hustling, don't hustle on a treadmill. Don't just be running in one place. When you advertise your product, you need to be across the states so that people know that you exist. That's how you get to the money. So I just wanted to, put that out there, man. All right? Keep hustling.